Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. It's time for all Joe Madden here on Picks and Parlays. Got a loaded show. It's a Monday night double header here. We got game 7 in baseball out there on the diamonds. The Seattle Mariners, the Toronto Blue Jays. Can the Jays advance, or will we see Seattle taking on the Dodgers in the World Series? We're going to see it all unfold tonight, as well as those double headers. 2 great games on deck. We've also got some hockey going on. Lots of things happening here. So drop your questions in the live chat over here on YouTube. If you are watching on X, I encourage you to come on over here to YouTube so we can interact with you. And you guys, once you're here, hit that like button. It really does help here on a Monday morning. We've got the poll running on X right now, so go on over, get your votes in at Joe Madden Sports on X for who you think is going to take game number 7 tonight between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Seattle Mariners. And then let's get into who hurt you this weekend. After that, we're going to bring in Sean Higgs. Sean Higgs will be coming into the show. He's got your baseball bets. He's got your action for you, the double night header out there in the NFL. So firstly, who hurt you yesterday? Well, if you were watching the matchup between the LA Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars early over in London. The last London game, still some international games to come, you guys. The Rams just dominated that one. It didn't even look like the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to be able to get any points, not putting up a touchdown until that fourth quarter. The LA Rams winning that one 35-7. That was their first win in London of the 4 times they've been there. So congratulations to them. We had the Minnesota Vikings not be able to come out as strong as I would have thought versus the Philadelphia Flyers there. Philadelphia Eagles. I was talking hockey versus the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys, the Eagles came out so strong. We actually saw Jalen Hurts be able to get moving in some of the zone blitz situations that Minnesota was able to put on him. So happy to see that, except I had the Minnesota Vikings plus the 2.5. At one point, they were so close to covering. They were down by 2, but we know the Eagles didn't let it finish that way, getting the win 28-22. I don't think anyone bet the Dolphins. Hands up out there if you did bet the Dolphins, if you had faith in them. Well, the Cleveland Browns is a 2.5-point favorite. Put up 31 points themselves. I know a lot of you were rolling with the under in that one. Weather concerns, they won at 31-6. So it did push you to the over. So if you were rolling with the under, that was definitely a hard one. If you also had faith in the New York Jets yesterday, which guilty as charged, I keep thinking this Jets team will find a way to get a win. No, even against Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, they weren't able to get things done. We actually saw Justin Fields benched, and then we did see Tyrod Taylor out there on the field. They were able to get 2 field goals on the board, so no touchdowns. I know a lot of talk because Garrett Wilson was out. I did think Mason Taylor would be able to come out nice and strong because of that, be a nice weapon out there for Justin Fields, but it just didn't happen. 13-6 win for the Carolina Panthers. We also saw Mike Vrabel roll into Tennessee. Big game out of Mike Vrabel. Now, it started off a little sketchy. The Tennessee Titans did take the lead, and I was rolling with the New England Patriots in my survivor pick. I tell you, I was holding my breath till that very last quarter. We saw 14 points out of the New England Patriots in the third quarter, and that was all of the scoring. So they ended up winning at 31-13. It sure felt a lot tighter when we started off that game. If you're a Raiders fan, it definitely wasn't an embarrassing showing. Max Crosby didn't come out of the half. He did suffer a knee injury. The Kansas City Chiefs winning at 31-0. So the Las Vegas Raiders shut out. I know we went over all the stats on why you'd want to bet the Raiders plus the points. I fell victim to it, thinking the Raiders would be able to keep it within the numbers, but I knew that was dead at half when Max Crosby didn't come out. And then we did see Patrick Mahomes sideline himself because he just didn't need him out there for the rest of that game. And then flying through the rest of the games, we did see Chicago, the Bears get the win over the Saints, 26-14. The Denver Broncos in a thriller with the New York Giants. The Giants never gave up. 33 unanswered, or not unanswered, but 33 points in the fourth quarter for the Denver Broncos. We're going to talk to Sean Higgs about this one because it was mind-blowing what the Denver Broncos were able to do. Let me know what you guys thought of that one. We did see that last-minute field goal by the Denver Broncos to get the win. The Indianapolis Colts made it look easy versus the LA Chargers, especially in the first half, winning that 38-24. The Green Bay Packers won 27-23. So they did not cover the spread yesterday of 6.5, 7. And then the Dallas Cowboys, big game versus the Washington Commanders, winning at 44-22, doubling up their score. And we also saw San Francisco, that late game, CMC go completely off, getting the win 20-10 over Atlanta. But we're going to bring in Sean Higgs. We're going to talk about this. We're going to get to your questions, your comments. Come on over here to YouTube to get those in. But Sean, good morning. Welcome to the show.
How are you today?
Doing pretty good. My survivor stayed alive yesterday. Not sure if you've been in your survivor pools, but did you have a survivor there?
My survivor went down in week 1. It was the New York Jets over the Steelers. They covered, but they did not. They cost me $18 million in the circle. But I was out early. That's the way I roll. I'm gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna go crazy. And that, contests, whether it's a survivor or like the millions kind of contest or Superbook, whatever kind of things you're doing, they're just so hard to win. And I was in the Circuit Invitational, Matt Humans, a couple years ago, where they might like 15 guys on. And you get into those contests where you're picking, and I'm automatically going to go like against the grain. Like who's taking underdogs in Survivor? Really, that doesn't happen. And even contest wise, I'm always, I know everybody's going to go this way, so I'm going to go against the pack. You can't do that. You have to ride with the pack. It's like a horse race.
Yeah.
Right. All the horses are together, coming around. And then somewhere towards the third rail or whatever, the circle, then somebody's going to break away. Like that's where you're separating. I want to separate the first week to show I'm smart. I'm not.
Sean, you and I are exactly the same way. This is my second chance survivor. This wasn't the first. Cody's surviving the second chance survivor. Cody, let us know what you had in that. We got to talk about this game. The Denver Broncos. What the heck was that? They are the first team in what? I heard the stat this morning, 1602 games in which they trailed by 19 points, were able to come back and get the win. What happened to the Giants? It fell apart. 33 points out of the Denver Broncos in the fourth quarter. If that was a bet, Sean, if someone said, throw $1 on this plus $1 million, I still wouldn't have thrown my $1 on that. They would have been able to get 33 points in the fourth quarter.
That was a colossal collapse there. And for the last score, you look at it this way: the Giants went up on a pass interference. Even that, you look at it, shouldn't even got there. Should it have ended 30-26 or something, whatever it was, 30. I don't even know what the score was before the touchdown. If Denver holds them, the game is over, and it's just a comeback and a collapse. But the fact that you had 2 scores in 30 seconds makes it crazy. I didn't have that game yesterday, Joe, and I did good yesterday. I went 6-0 baseball with NFL, but that game to me was one. I didn't know, where did you want to go? You had the Giants off a big win, right? Huge upset, but they also had extra prep time, so it wasn't a total flat spot off a big win. Denver looked horrible in England, right? So you're like, they can't play that crappy.
Yeah.
But then you had the travel. It was like I couldn't get behind it. I couldn't. Part of me was like Giants. Part of me was Denver. I ended up not playing. It was a great game. I mean, but for Giant fans, this is your rookie quarterback. The last time I saw him on a road, the guy turned the ball over 5 straight times in New Orleans.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, and now they're at Philly. Now they're going to Philly, who they embarrassed on Thursday Night Football. Big game for them. I don't know if the kid's real. I mean, how many guys have looked great first year? How's Bo Nix look so far this year? It hasn't looked all that great.
Yeah, and it's shocking because I had such higher hopes for Bo Nix out there with Cortland Sutton, and there's some beautiful connections between the two of them. But Jackson Dart just looking phenomenal. Now, off the top of my head, I can't remember what his rushing yards are. I'm just double checking those numbers because we know in the first 3 weeks that he's played, he's been able to rush for over 50 yards, which only Lamar and Jalen Hurts were able to do in their first 3 games. So looking at him in yesterday's game, I'm just going to pull up where he was able to go with his legs, Sean, because if he's been able to do that again, no, 11 yards only out of him. We did see Denver allow 283 yards for Dart through the air, 15 of 33. So not great, 15-33, but 3-1 for the touchdown to interception ratio. This kid might be for real.
If he could stay healthy, like he plays balls to the wall. I mean, that's today's NFL, the way they threw him under the tent again. I mean, they don't play games. This isn't 1990 where I got concussion, I'm still going to come in and play. Like, he'll be out for a game or two.
Yeah,
that transpires. I mean, again, yeah, he looks so fun. Joe, how did Daniels look last year for Washington, and how are they this year? How's he looked?
Exactly.
I mean, Bo Nix was a runner last year. I mean, the guys they barely beat the Titans. How do the Titans look? And this is a team in Denver barely got by them. So let's a couple games people want to, as Parcells would talk about Trevor Rumble. You got to bring out the anointing oil on a guy. He's got 3 games under his belt. He's lost a couple of them to boot. So I mean, I don't know if we're gonna take it easy there. Pump the brakes, as they say.
What do you think of these mobile quarterbacks? Because I can tell you, I don't think Tua looks like himself this year for the Miami Dolphins. I think he probably should have retired. But you look at Justin Fields, and there was that play that he did go into the blue tent after. He went out, Higgs. I don't care what anyone says. I don't think he should have ever come back on the field. Yeah. So I kind of wonder if they realized that after they let him come out for a couple of plays, because he went limp. It was like half a second. But these mobile quarterbacks have to protect themselves. And if Dart continues to run like he did in previous games, right? We saw him go into the blue tent last week, and we saw what happened when Russ came out. Everyone booed him, and what happened to Russ? He just threw it at the feet of no one. So bad, that's for sure.
I could say, Russell Wilson. He threw for 400 yards versus the Cowboys.
Yeah,
he's had some bad passes. It's weird because in Pittsburgh he threw for something like 20-some touchdowns, right? I mean, I guess it's one of those things where the stats they kind of lie a little bit. But then if the numbers don't lie, he's a productive quarterback. He looks bad, but somehow there's numbers there at the end of the season. Again, you're throwing a young guy in there, and this is the problem. How many young quarterbacks you throw in there? This team has problems. Got no wide receiver, right? Your best wide receiver's out. You're running for your life, but the coach doesn't play him, he's fired. Coach plays him, well, I didn't fire me. I had to play the rookie. We're going to struggle. You're in a no-win situation, right? And let's be honest. He doesn't play him, they're firing him. Maybe he could say, well, they fired me. I was playing a rookie quarterback. How's it my fault? He's got to get up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
Let him sit. The team's going to be bad either way. It's not a good team. It's not a good team.
No, it's not. I was really happy to see coaching staff in Minnesota didn't start JJ McCarthy against the Eagles because that would have been a hard defense. Yeah.
He's terrible.
He is. He really is.
Again, I'm injured the whole year, and we're going to come in and play again. Well, we talked about it in week 1. I was like, you know what? Give me the under in this game. And somehow those 2 clowns managed to get to 20 points. I don't know how that happened by accident, but.
Yeah, and Sean, I have to tip my hat to you.
That's what happened at those 41s, those low-scoring things. We'll talk about that tonight. We've got the Texans and Seattle at a low total.
We got so much to talk about. First, I want to say, Sean, last Monday you sat here and you looked at those pre-lines and you said Thursday Night Football, take the Bengals plus the points money line right now. You said that last Monday when we were here. We saw what happened. The Cincinnati Bengals got it frickin' done on Thursday Night Football. So kudos to you for seeing those early lines. We'll probably touch on maybe if you have an early line, look for week 8. I can't believe we're almost at week 8, wrapping up week 7 tonight. Yeah. Let's talk these double headers tonight. So the first game we're kicking off with here, Sean, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Detroit Lions. And you guys, I hope you have a power nap this afternoon because that one starts at 7 o'clock Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Houston Texans versus the Seattle Seahawks. So we've got a long night of football. Get your naps in. We've also got baseball coming. But Sean, let's look at this first game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit Lions. This total is high, 53.5. The juice is kind of like basically minus 108 to the over, minus 112 to minus 115 to the under. We do have a spread of 6.5 with the Lions, of course, being the favorite at home. Jared Goff versus Baker Mayfield. Where do you want to go with this one?
I'm looking at the under here, right?
Okay.
And everyone's gonna run to the over, like, oh, it's the Lions, it's Tampa, like two teams, it's in a dome. There you go. Give me the under here. The Lions have some injuries on defense a little bit. I understand. Tampa Bay is always in it, Joe. What are we going to talk about Baker Mayfield? The guy's always has the team in the thing. But, Evans is coming back. There's still no Godwin. Iki, Buka, whatever that cat's name is, questionable. No Bucky. I know you got the other kid they're running back. I just feel, again, the general public and the general thinking is that Detroit at home, in a dome, Goff's 75% completion percentage or whatever the hell he's got going on, running back, wide receivers, look at this total. I don't see them putting up 38-30 game here to go. No, I think this is going to be a 24-20 kind of game, believe it or not. I think it's lower scoring. Opposite think, so be it. It's all right. I don't mind. It's just one of those that jumped out at me right off the bat where I'm like, you know what? It just looks way too high for the appearance of a high-scoring game, right? Detroit off the bad loss. Tampa Bay doing what Tampa Bay does, always last-second scoring. Cody likes the Bucks. 6.5 now, huh? That line, it keeps going up. It keeps going up, this line.
Yeah, it really does. It's
interesting. This was a 4.5.
Yeah. What does that tell you? Like, for you, if it was a 4.5 and you liked the Bucks originally, do you feel comfortable with it moving to 6.5, or do you go like, I just don't want to touch it?
You know what? It is what it is. If you like them at 4.5, you gotta like them at 6.5, right?
Yeah,
I like them. I like them to be in the game, right?
Yeah.
At this point, you're taking 4.5. You're thinking they're going to be down. Baker's going to do his 2-minute drill and come down and get a touchdown. You lose by a field goal or something, or you get back in there within the number. 6.5, it keeps going up. You're like, oh boy, why is it going up? Is it who's moving to the inactive list tonight?
Yeah.
Right. That's number one. The public. No way Detroit can lose 2 in a row. They just lost to the Chiefs. They can't lose again. It's a revenge game, right? They played these guys in a playoff show or last time. I don't know if it was a revenge game. I'm just saying. I know they played each other the last couple of years. I forget when they played, regular season or postseason, whatever. I get the public coming on Detroit off a loss at home. Why wouldn't you back Detroit? Only got to win by 7, right? Detroit can't win by a touchdown. Seems easy enough. 30-20, easy winner. Okay.
Okay, so PMC throwing out here. White for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the anytime touchdown. The game's being played in the 26th state, and he should get his 26th regular TD. That's a fun one. That's a fun hunt.
That's just a way to look at it, but why not just say, you know what? Yep. He's the running back on a pretty good offensive squad with a quarterback who gets people involved. That's it. What's the price on his anytime tutty? It's got to be plus money.
It's plus 100. You're getting plus 100 for Rashad White for the anytime.
Even money. Yeah, of course he's going to score.
Yeah. The favorite to get the anytime tutty tonight is Jamari Gibbs, you guys, for the Detroit Lions at minus 195. David Montgomery at minus 135 and St. Brown at minus 120. Rashad White is the favorite for the Bucs at that plus 100.
You know me, Joe, like for those
120.
like Gibbs at 195. I'd say what's 2?
2 touchdowns for Jamari Gibbs. Okay, let's get those 2+ touchdowns for him. Coming in plus 290. Not bad.
Right. Look, and I say this when I do the thing. I say, let's do a 2 touchdown. Because if he's minus $2 to get 1, How the heck can't he just get a second? If he's
Yeah.
guaranteed, they're guaranteeing you one, so they're giving you 2-1 on one TD, right?
Yeah.
He's got one in the bag. By the odds purposes, at 2-1, they have him scoring. So now you're getting 2-1 on him scoring a TD somewhere else. Sign me up. Sign me up on the 2 TDs for the guy. Plus 2-1.
What, here's a long shot. Tesla here for the Detroit Lions. He's plus 600 for the anytime tutty. I like his ability. He's a big target out there for Jared Goff, Higgs.
He's a tight end, right, that guy?
Yeah. I love the tight ends this year. It's tight ends week next week, by the way, you guys. Week 8, tight ends week on the Sunday.
Listen, tight end's my favorite position. He's just the biggest cat on the field. And he's got good hands.
Yeah.
And he's usually up against somebody who can't stick him.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, why wouldn't I throw the guy who's 6'4", 280 and has giant mitts, his hands, against a little 5'11" linebacker or defensive back?
Absolutely. You got to look at him there coming out with those tools.
Statehood
carries
weight. Okay.
Yeah.
The cash is good.
Cody had to buy the extra half point there with the Bucs for 6.5 this morning. I do think, that's going to continue to go as – what do you think? When do you think the public puts in their bets? Like, the public's not locking in these lines on Monday morning when they come up, right? Sunday night last week, right?
No,
when are they locking in?
No, they're game day people. Let's see whether they're watching shows or podcasts, who they're betting. I mean, they're late to the party, people.
What are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield? I need to know. Baker, are you a buyer or seller? You do. Okay.
How can you not be a buyer? The guy's won division championships. I mean, he's a winner. Wow. The players love him. The guy's a leader. He's tough. I did not like the guy. Is he MVP? It's weird, right? He's winning games late because he's coming back because his team's down.
Yeah.
So when you're on the other side of that, you're a choker. You're Tony Romo. You're Josh Allen. You're Lamar, who can't win a game, right? You're Jackson Dart. Oh, you stink. Well, where's my defense to help me? Like that's how many times I say that? Where is the defense? The quarterback's going to get all the crap for losing. Oh, he can't beat a good guy. Well, can the defense stop another good guy?
Yeah.
Like Baker, he's great. Is he MVP? I don't know about that. I give it to Goff before I gave it to him. At least Goff's putting up stats and teams, winning not last second. There's got to be some kind of, you're pulling out comebacks.
Mm-hmm.
But if the other team had 40 seconds, would they come back because they just left you that time to come down the field? Like, is it more on him, or is the defenses can the defense get credit or no credit for just being crap in these situations?
That is true. Either of these quarterbacks throw that interception tonight, Higgs? We're going to push each other that much that we're going to have the mistakes?
I don't know. Goff is pretty tame when it comes to his INTs. He's not just chucking it to chuck it. And as much as Baker is, he throws a lot, but it's not like he's like, oh, it's a 3-on-1 coverage, I'm throwing it downfield. He's controlled chaos. Like his stuff is end of the game. Otherwise he's not doing stupid stuff like that. That's how he's improved as a quarterback. So I'd say, I know people like to do that. Like, oh, guys, if two guys, both players interception, I'd say no.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be like Tua yesterday. The Bears picked him up, 5 times in a row, I think?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't 5 times in a row, but it was 5 interceptions, I believe, on Tua yesterday. It was a crazy one. I was shocked when they came out. Yeah. Okay, so no interceptions. How do you think this one kind of folds out? You're looking at this one to stay under the 53.5, and I agree with you. This total seems so high. The only way I could see it going over that total, Higgs, is if we do go to overtime here between these two teams, and that is like highly likely. So Sean Higgs rolling with that best bet under 53.5. Any other thoughts on this game? Anyone else that you would circle here for us?
No, I didn't really look at any kind of the tutties or nothing like that. Again, if I'm looking at an under, I'm not going to run to, hey, we got to take touchdown props. I'm not a huge prop guy. You're either big into props or you're into deciding total. I get it. If I like the team, I'm going to be like, you know what? I like X to win, so I'm going to go. Let's do this XYZ, and we're going to do some touchdown stuff, and even receiving. Maybe on one guy, I think he's gonna have a big game, so I'll look to ladder yard or something. But if I like it under, I can't do that. You can't do both. Can't be cheering for touchdowns and then have it under. Like, oh, I need one guy to score for me here, but I need to score to stay this.
Yeah.
It's stressful enough. It's stressful enough just doing the side.
Yeah, it is. And then if you have a fantasy team and you're still in Survivor, it's just a stress-filled day. But Sean, you've been absolutely killing it on the books. We're going to get into the second game of the doubleheader here first, but remind everyone how much you're killing it, because your yesterday in the NFL was insane.
Yeah, good 6-0 yesterday in NFL. So I'll take a 6-0, and plus on Thursday night that'd be a 7-0. So 7-0 for NFL week, and I do have sides up for tonight's game. We're talking totals here, but yeah, 13-3 NFL run. So we're into the plus with NFL. College football's still in the plus, having a good year. So football's been good. It's been good for the last I guess 2 months, right? We'll start with those week 0. So it's 2 months of football now.
Yeah, it's crazy. We are October 20th. How the heck did we get here? It was like it was just preseason, Sean, but we're going to get into a couple other things before we move on to that next game. We do have Richie P rolling in here with Jake Bates over 1.5 field goals. So gotta love those field goals coming in, and that would be a nice way to go if you're liking the under with Sean in this one, because if the field goals are coming, we know that means those touchdowns aren't. And yeah, if you guys smash that like button, we'd greatly appreciate it here. Okay, let's move on to the next game. The Houston Texans taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The Hawks are a 3-point favorite in this one. They're minus 174 on that money line. This is a low total compared to the other one, 41.5. How are we going to tackle this one?
Yeah, and this one, this is an over for me. And again, it's a low number, right? But we talked about this, as I just said earlier. Let's go back to the week 1 Bears and Vikings. You got like 2 bad teams, but somehow 41, you're a mistake away from this getting to 50. You know, the Texans are in off a bye week, which is nice. They can maybe get a little bit healthier on offensive line and get the offense going. You put up a bunch of points versus a depleted Ravens team. You put up points against the Titans. And Seattle, great defense, Seattle. Quietly a very good team. But again, 40 and a half, 41 and a half, low, Joe. This one to me, again, more of a contrarian look of why, because everything points to an under in this one. Defense, poor offense, even just a travel spot. It is a bye week, but still, Seattle played in Florida last week, Jacksonville. I don't know. Something just tells me here that everyone's going to look to this to be a Thursday night Arizona game for Seattle, where it's going to be 2013. I don't know. I think it's going to be like 2013 in the first half, believe it or not. I think there's going to be points plenty in this one. I'm throwing out what my eyes have shown me and what the defensive metrics say, and think, you know what? It could still be a defensive kind of game and get to 44 or 47. Low scoring. Again, it's 24 to 10. All of a sudden you get a late touchdown, right? Comes in. It's 30 to 10, and here comes a late score. It's 24-20 and you're over the total. It's 23-20, you're over the 20. You know, I mean, 41, it's not hard.
No,
it's not hard. We just saw, again, Broncos scoring 30 and a quarter. It's not hard when you think about it. We've seen teams score 28, 14. The Eagles and Vikings yesterday. 2 scores in the fourth quarter is going to send this game over the total, no matter where it is early. You know, you just need 2 scores.
Absolutely. Would you feel comfortable with the first half, maybe, if people are looking at an under? I'm not even sure if I'd feel comfortable with that, but I would rather that than the full.
I want to, you know what? You just brought up, I want to do an over. What is that? What is that, though? 17 and a half? What is that one at? 19?
Yeah, let me find that number. It's going to be interesting because, you know, both of these quarterbacks can move the ball. So how these defenses are going to come out tonight and what they're able to do. As I find that, which quarterback here? You got Sam Darnold, right? Sam Darnold, I think, is underrated. I loved him at Minnesota last year. I've always had a lot of faith in Sam Darnold. I think he's underrated. What do you think on him?
Yeah, I mean, I think he did throw. We're talking about just randomly throwing touchdowns and putting some stats together.
Yeah.
He did have stats with the Jets.
Yeah.
He did have stats with Carolina. You saw him last year with a good coach, what he did. I didn't know how he'd be here, right? New coach, maybe take a little bit, but he's been all right. I mean, you had a loss to the Niners you probably should have won, you know? You can't complain. You got, what, a 5-2 record, whatever heck they got. You're winning. The guy's winning.
Oh, absolutely. That first half total, 20.5, Sean. It's minus 110 to either side of the 20.5. It's a tight number.
That's like right on. A lot of times you have the when it's sidewise, they kind of like jack it up a little bit on one side or the other. But I'd still stay over. I think we're going to see points.
Yeah.
20.5. I mean, this game's going to be 14-10 at the half. You're going to be like, what the heck happened here? I'm not going to be shocked if it's 7-7 or 10-7 at the end of the first quarter. I think it's an offensive game.
Yeah.
Seattle in the overcard. I like it.
Yeah. PMC saying ride the horse. Every horse team is doing great in football. Shane Pinto, 7 goals in 6 games. Gotta love Shane Pinto out there. Okay. Yeah, this is. I think this is going to be a great game. Of the two, actually, I don't even think either is going to be a boring one. I think we're in for 2 great, exciting games out there. Again, Sean, I'm not going to make you talk further because I know you do have for sale best bets in these games. But again, in that early game, you guys, Sean Higgs is liking the under 53.5. If you want his best bet in the side of this one, you're going to have to head over to picksandparlays.net. You can find it over there. And then he's also going to be rolling with the over 41.5 between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. So all of his best bets are over on the site. But Sean, we've got game 7, and this is a big one. The pubs last night. So I was like watching football. I watched the highlights after I watched the end of that fourth quarter, but I was at the pub watching baseball last night, which is something that normally wouldn't happen for me on a Sunday night. But it was game 6. Toronto needed that win so bad versus Seattle Mariners. They were able to get it. Vladdy looked great again. Tonight, we have game 7. Winner takes all. Moving on to face the Dodgers, we've got George Kirby coming out for the Seattle Mariners. Shane Bieber, who looked solid in his last start for the Toronto Blue Jays. Total 7.5. The books really don't want to move off these 7.5s, and we have the Jays at minus 130. Sean, please tell me where we're going with this one.
I like this. I like the over, but I like Seattle here. Just because you're going to give a little bit of plus money in a game 7 where anything could happen. And again, I think that, and you're up there. The Blue Jays' Achilles heel is that bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So you always got to worry about them coming and giving up some runs. The 7.5 would be my favorite spot. Again, I haven't played this. It's not on the site. It's not like I ran out and took this. And Seattle was yesterday the same thing. Like Seattle in the over, I kind of liked this there as well because I'm going to get a dog that had the series lead, and it's versus a questionable bullpen. I'll again, Seattle and the over for me. Listen, Rich, you like the Jays? Well, do a run line with the Jays. If the Jays win, it's going to be like another 6-2, 7-4 kind of game. They're going to score their runs and give up a couple, but it's going to go over. And they're going. This isn't 1996 baseball or 2010 baseball. It's not going to be, a 2-1 dogfight into the 8th, 9th inning. That ain't it. That's not baseball. Not with these teams. This is an over game. This is an over game, and Jays. Who knows? I might switch to a Jays run line here if it's good money. What is a Jays?
Plus 155 for the Jays on the run line.
150 Jays run line. There we go. I could do the Jays run line. Let's go.
Yeah. You're right. If the Jays are winning this, they're not winning it by 1 run. This is a 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, they're going to go off. It's because they get the bases loaded and they bring all those runners home. Talk about you Savage yesterday, Sean. He is killing it out there for the Toronto Blue Jays. 22-year-old to have that composure out there on the mound. I was blown away by him.
Looks good, the kid. Yeah. Although we saw another young guy in Alec Manoah looked pretty good too when he was out there for a while there for the Jays, and he kind of fell off the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesse likes the over. I mean,
What?
they score runs, Toronto.
Yeah, they do. Should we look at a
So,
ladder? I think we should kind of look at a ladder
uh,
here.
I
Oh,
don't know about
Richie,
that.
what you do? Come on,
Yeah,
Sean,
run
I
line
get
it.
greedy. I get excited, right? I get excited. I get greedy. I'm going to be at the pub
How are
again
you going
watching this
to
game.
like? How are you starting the ladder? What, 5 runs? I mean, it's going to be.
No, I would start the ladder on the alt run line. So I'd do the run line and then alt run line. So let's look. Okay, so the Toronto Blue Jays run line, laying 1.5 is, that's funny because you get the run line normally at plus 155. If you come on over to those alt run line pages, they're saying laying 1.5 at plus 150. So even within your book, shop those lines, you guys, because that's a 5-cent difference. But Toronto, if you can lay 2.5 plus 255, they win it by 3. I'm willing to put half a unit on each.
I was gonna say if you want to do that. When you said ladder, I thought you were gonna do like 5, 6, 7 runs. I didn't know you're talking run line ladder. Okay,
Yeah,
I can do that. I can do a 2.5er.
Yeah, 2.5 at plus 255. 3.5 is asking a lot. They win it by 4 runs plus 390. We've seen them when they have won these games.
7-2. I mean, again, 7-2.
Yeah.
8-5. I mean, like you're gonna 3. What's the 2.5 is 4. What was it for again? 4.
Let me see. Hang on. I went off that page. Yesterday they won by 4, right? It was 6-2. So if you laid the 3.5 yesterday,
7-2.
You're laughing. So laying the 2.5 plus 255, laying the 3.5 is almost 4-1. It's plus 390.
Plus 390 at 3.5 runs.
Man.
I might actually do this. 255 might be worth it there for the 3-run win.
Yeah. They have every ability. I don't see it being tight, right? Like if the Jays win, if Seattle wins, though, I think it's tight. Like I don't think it's going to be a game in which they win it by multiple runs. I think they just squeak it out. What do you think?
It could be, but it could turn into a 6-4, 7-4 like that way. Like them scoring on there. It's not like they're going to win 3. Who knows? Maybe it is a 3-1, 4-1 game. Like their pitching shuts down, and then that's that. And that's what if like with the Seattle pitching. Again, it hasn't really been there this year as good as these guys have been the last couple of years. Castillo and Gilbert, any of them, Kirby, whoever. Right in the past, they were really solid. You're like, wow, these guys are going to come in and give up 2, 3 runs, and that's that. Yeah. They've given them runs this year. But if they have a flashback to a rare start that they had, maybe like a 1 or 2 starts this year instead of the 15 they used to have, then it's a 3-1 Seattle game. Yeah. But I can't see that. I mean, the back of the baseball card for Seattle this year says the pitchers are going to give up 3, 4 runs. That's just the way it is. The bullpen's good. Bullpen will come in and shut things down. But if you're already down in a 4-2 game, that 4-2 is turning into 8-5 or something. So it's tough to take it, Seattle. Again, you're going to give a little plus money in a game 7. I'll look towards the little dog in that spot just because, and it's small. Yeah. Plus 110. That's why I was like, you know what? I'd rather do the 255 or 150 there with the run line Toronto. Right. 110's not doing nothing for me because I think the game's going over anyway. So do I want 110 or 105 or do I want a 150 on the other side? I might just take Toronto just on poops and giggles right now on a run line.
Yeah, I like it. I like where you're going with that. Something just to note, you guys, we got George Kirby versus Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber has a strikeout prop of 4.5, minus 138 to the over. He was able to go over strikeouts in the last game. George Kirby 3.5 plus 116 to the over in that. And if you're looking at their outs, just to give out those numbers, Shane Bieber 12.5 and George Kirby 11.5 for their outs. I would think Bieber can go over his outs in this one. He was strong in the last time versus Seattle, as well as his strikeouts. Any opinions on these starting pitchers where you'd go with anything, Sean, or you're ready to move on?
Yeah, because if I like the over, I'm expecting somebody to come in here and just start mowing people down. Because again, this is where we talk about like props wise. If I'm thinking the game's going over, I don't think some guy's going to come in here and go 6 and strike out 7 guys in 5 innings or something. So I'm not. No thanks. I like the over. I like the over is my favorite part of this game. So definitely not going to look at strikeouts. Could somebody do it? Maybe, but if I'm going to put my money on on an over, which I like the most, I'm not going to go for a strikeout. Because then I'm cheering for one guy to have a good game.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And then I need one team to do all the work. No.
It's too much stress.
I want this 3-2 in the second inning and be like, we're going to the bullpen, all hands on deck, and then it'll turn into a nightmare. So yeah, no,
So
you can't do that in games. No way. This is Bieber, who's injured half the year, and Logan Gilbert. This is not freaking Pedro versus Mussina or Clemens or Smoltz. Like, come on, these two guys.
Yeah.
No way. We'll see.
Kirby's gonna get hit.
I can do a Yerfie with you there, Rich. I like the over, so I'm all on for the runs.
Freaking love a Yerfie. I love a Yerfie, Richie P. Thanks for throwing that out there. We had Vladdy get a nice solo homer yesterday. Today to get that home run, he's at plus 320. The favorite to get the home run is Cal Raleigh coming in here, the big dumper at plus 240. His frustration on his face was there yesterday, Sean. He might be able to answer back. George Springer, he's plus 400. Lots of value out there for those homers. Any gut feeling about any of these guys? You got Josh Naylor, plus 750 of the Seattle Mariners. Great plus money there. Just looking at a plus money one for Toronto. You got Kirk coming out.
I was going to say Kirk. I was going to just throw a Kirk out there.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to do Vladdy and Springer. You got to look somewhere else.
You do. Kurt's a fun one to go with. Every time
like
he's
Naylor's a good one.
Yeah.
I was going to say Suarez, but again, the guy with 50 homers, you're probably not getting good numbers on him. Or obviously, Cal Raleigh and Vlad, you're not getting good numbers on.
Yeah.
Naylor and Kirk, way to go.
Yeah. There we go. Let's roll with those, you guys. Those are the official bets I'm going to be putting in. Kurt and Naylor coming out here. You got some great plus money. Let's just they're letting me parlay that. That's crazy. I didn't know they'd let me parlay Kurt and Naylor for a home run. It's probably not worth putting a lot of money on, but it is plus 48.62 if they both get a home run tonight. Now that it's in there, I got to put it in.
There you go. Take it. I like it.
Okay, you guys, I want to remind you, Sean Higgs is absolutely crushing the books. Here are his Monday Night Football best bets. He's going to roll with the under 53.5 between the Bucs and the Lions. And again, if you want his best bets, you got to head on over to the site. He does have a pick on the side here on picksandparlays.net. So head on over there for that. His free pick for the show between the Texans and the Seahawks is the over 41.5. And then in tonight's baseball game, it's the over all day long, as well as now we're going to look at the Toronto Blue Jays with that run line, the alt run line. We're going to look at Naylor and Kurt here for those home runs. Let's make some freaking money tonight, Higgs.
Every day is what we do. We try to grind it out, Joe. Grind them out, little at a time.
Absolutely. Okay, you have been everywhere, all over. Where can people catch you this week? What shows have you got going on? Where are you guesting? What's happening?
Well, there'll probably be a rapid fire somewhere with Allie for some NFL or college, whatever's on board for that. I do not know. I had lost the total chaos, so I've not been. I got beat. So
but you never know. Who booted you out of that one?
Terry Edelman beat me there. Terry got me. He wasn't even hockey, so I feel kind of violated that the hockey guy beat me in football. I'm like, I got to do better. But that's what's good about the show. You tune in, you don't know who's going to be running hot, right? A lot of free pick shows like this come on here, give out picks of their show, Total Chaos, and then they have not that I go on the prop one there. I'm not really all that into props, but I'm around. I'm on the P&P Network. You see me, free picks, shows, on the X. There you go. You can follow me there, say hello.
Yeah, follow
Sean. Again, the best bets are up on Picks and Parlays. Go get them.
Yeah, for sure. You got all those free videos everywhere. You've just been crushing it. Sean, thank you so much for your time this morning. I keep you such a long time, but my Mondays are the favorite, having you on for a good 45 minutes. It's the best. Thank you.
Oh, you got it. Well, I'm going to come in. We'll always talk about something on the show, so you got it, Joe.
Yeah.
Especially when we got Game 7 and doubleheader Monday Night Football. I'm going to be here for a bit.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, okay. Before you go, last week you absolutely killed it. You said the Cincinnati Bengals plus the points, money line going into Thursday Night Football. You guys, I hope you listened to Sean Higgs last week.
Easy winner.
This Thursday, the Vikings taking on the Chargers. Chargers looked terrible yesterday. Cleo Mack, Joe Alt back in the lineup. They're taking on the Vikings. Chargers will be at home. Any early take on this one? The spread's 2.5, total 44.5. Can the Chargers get back in the win column?
I said last time I was doing my little look at line show, I was like, man, 2.5. I said, there's not even respect for the Chargers to lay to 3 based on you used to just get 3 for just being home. This is a tricky one, though, because, I mean, Minnesota, they didn't look bad, but they didn't look good because I don't think the Eagles looked good yesterday.
Yeah.
So do I want to come in and take a 2.5 and not even a 3? Although I do see some 3s popping up now on the odds logic here. I see them couple 3s out there. I like to back the team that looks like crap, and the Chargers look terrible. The Chargers looked absolutely terrible yesterday. Down from the get-go, we're not even in the game.
Yeah, and you said terrible wrong. It was SHIT. They looked just dreadful.
I mean,
I didn't even want
they
to
were not in it one bit. Not even like we're going to come back a little bit. And, stuff like that. I see. You know what? If you want to grab some Buffalo Bills right now, it's going to move. I see Bryce Young is out. He is going to be out on Sunday. So that's 7.5 is going to shoot up probably to about a 9 pretty soon.
I can't believe it was just a 7.5. Like the Panthers.
Well, I mean, he was questionable. And listen, Andy Dalton's a pro's pro. He's not, you're almost, I don't want to say they're better, but sometimes you bring in a veteran off the bench. You saw it with Brissett coming in for Arizona. You saw Wentz kind of do his little number. You saw, not really, what's his name, Tyrod Taylor do it for the Jets. But you bring in a veteran guy. Hello, Joe Flacco. I mean, they know the defenses. They're not going to do stupid stuff. They're just going to play it inside their game and keep you in it. Yeah. But, this one here, I want to take the Chargers because they look so bad. And Minnesota, it was a close loss, but you didn't look good. And I thought Philly played like crap, and they still got out of there with a win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know. This game on Thursday night, I'm tempted to just take the over. The Chargers couldn't shut down Daniel Jones. We're going to see. I'm guessing it's going to be Carson Wentz, but who knows? Maybe they'll throw out J.J. McCarthy, so then that will be a hard one. I expect points in the first quarter.
Yeah, maybe I'd rather do a Charger team total over.
Okay.
Than a game over. Because, again, Minnesota, to me, I don't think Minnesota's a good team.
Yeah.
I was not sold on McCarthy. Guys have played ever, and all of a sudden you're just giving him the starting job with no backup, no safety net. Yeah, it's not a good team. I love the coach. Coaches are great. Sometimes you need a player, though. Sometimes you need a guy who can do stuff.
Are we getting Lamar back yet for the Ravens? They're going to take on the Chicago Bears. They're only 6.5 point favorite.
I want to take the Bears. I mean, I love Lamar. I think Lamar's great, but they were losing with him because you know what? The defense stinks. So how the heck are you going to come in and lay a touchdown? Or 6.5? 6.5 is even worse because everybody's thinking, oh, they just got to win by 7. They can beat the Bears. The Bears stink. I know the Bears. I mean, I'm no Bear lover. I got the Bears in Miami under. Only win totals I got under.
One more.
How do you bet on the Ravens?
Sean, I got to throw this at you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't love Jordan Love. I heard them say on the broadcast, Love and Rodgers get to go against each other. He was such a great mentor. Aaron Rodgers hated Jordan Love, in my opinion. They face off in Pittsburgh. 3.5 point dog here for Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be impressed facing Jordan Love and his old
Pittsburgh
team.
all day long. Yeah. Pittsburgh outright. Love says the right things.
Yeah.
But you're damn right he was going to be pissed off. Like, I need a wide receiver and you're drafting my replacement. Can I get a wide receiver here?
Yeah.
So he's going to be a little, and he's Aaron Rodgers. He's a little bit of a douche. Let's be honest. He says people don't like him. He says things. I'm all for saying things. I don't care about saying things. I mean, you rub people the wrong way. That's life. It shouldn't, it's all right.
I know I rub a lot of people the wrong way, Sean. It just happens, right? I got a weird sense of humor.
That is a Pittsburgh as a dog at home. That is the spot. That is the spot. Especially you give Rodgers a little bit of motivation there versus you saw what he said about the Jets. He's always about, look at me. Oh, you damn well know he's like licking his chops for this one. He is licking his chops.
Okay, it's been a fun time. Higgs, you got a lot for sale. Don't know how I got that nickname, but I'll roll with it. She's gorgeous. So thank you for being here. You're crushing it. If you guys are looking for Sean Higgs' best bets, especially in tonight's Monday Night Football game, head on over to picksandparlays.net. Sean, stay freaking hot. You're 6-0, 7-0 if you include Thursday night. 6-0 yesterday, 7-0 because of Thursday night. This week 7 has treated you good. Crush it. I hope you dominate tonight.
Yeah, no, it's good to get great good run like that. What is there to say? It's kind of like, you don't want to jinx it, but you want people to know you're on a big run like that. That's a big one, especially NFL. NFL's tough, so I'll gladly take that and take the accolades that can win it. And I'll give them too. When somebody has a great day, it's tough. It's tough.
When you're seeing it right, you're just seeing it right, and you are seeing that board. You're completely on fire. Best of luck in that, and best of luck in game 7 tonight. Let's hope those alt ladders work out for us. But Sean,
yes.
We'll see you hopefully next Monday if you'll give me some time.
You got it. I got you Monday. Again, a week. I know the Thursday, Friday. Sometimes you got other people, but whenever you just reach out, I'm always around. You know that.
Okay. Thanks, Sean. You guys head on over to picksandparlays.net to grab Sean Higgs's best bets. You don't want to miss out on everything that he's got going. I don't want to forget to tell you guys about that Weekend Warrior package. If you would have been part of that Weekend Warrior package on Sean Higgs's best bets for yesterday, again, 6-0. You for $49 could have got his 6-0 bets yesterday and then still had those picks for tonight because it's the football picks for Saturday and Sunday for just $49. That's all at picksandparlays.net. They do throw those Monday plays in at no extra cost. So you guys, it's going to be a fantastic night here of Monday Night Football. I don't think, does Higgs do tennis? I don't know if Higgs does tennis or not. So we will go back to that. But yeah, who was 6-0? Higgs. He crushed it on the books yesterday in the NFL, went 6-0. If you include his Thursday pick, which he threw in for free here on All Joe Madden on Monday last week, he said, look at the Bengals plus the points with the money line. He crushed that as well. So he would have been 7-0, including that. He hates tennis. I didn't know that. I have no clue that Sean Higgs hates tennis. Maybe I'll ask him for next Monday to come with some tennis for us. But you guys, that brings us to my best bets tonight. I'm staying off this baseball game. Emotionally, I want Toronto to get the win. This is game 7. This is huge. The pubs were crazy last night. I am going to come in with those alt run lines, though, that Sean Higgs and I talked about, laying the 1.5 with Toronto at plus 155, but then altering it up to laying 2.5 runs with them and the 3.5. I can't get past the fact that I do believe that if Toronto is able to come in and win this, they do win it by multiple runs in this game, because we know it's because their bats are just firing. I do think they can get to George Kirby in this matchup, and I think that Shane Bieber can come out strong. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to put a unit and split it up. Again, it is an emotional bet, more so than, digging right into those numbers. So let me know what you're thinking out there. You guys have Toronto. It's got to be Toronto all day long, right? They got to come in. They got to get over. Sean Higgs loving the over in that game as well. So looking at where you guys are going with things. I love seeing all of you in the chat. I really appreciate you coming over here and taking your time on a Monday morning to spend with us. You have to score on Bieber the first inning. Yeah, you have to score on Bieber in the first inning. A couple of you throwing out that Yurfie as well. So I do think the Yurfie is a great way to go. You're looking at those tennis bets there for them. So that is perfect, you guys. Let's get into my Monday Night Football bets. You're going to try to lay the 2.5 waiting in the tennis match. I love you guys are into tennis. My aunt is huge into tennis. She travels all over the world to watch tennis. So she would definitely know what you guys are talking about more so than me. I'm kind of jaded on tennis, you guys. I loved tennis, and then I was like really good playing. But then there was this girl named something Cherry. I can't remember her first name, but she came in. Oh, Cherry Bloom. Cherry was her first name. Cherry Bloom was her name. It sounds not very much like a tennis player name, but she came and she crushed me, and then she was the favorite of the squad. So kind of jaded. But let's look at this Thursday Night Football. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Detroit Lions. This one has a total 53.5. You guys, where I'm going to go in this, I just have to grab Tampa plus the 6.5. You guys know I'm not a huge believer in Baker Mayfield. I don't know what it is about Baker, and I know his ability out there on the football fields. There's just a smugness about him that I'm just not the biggest fan of. But I do think in this matchup here versus Detroit, he should be able to keep this one within the number. I also think if you're liking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus the 6.5, at some point you got to sprinkle on that money line at plus 225. Maybe a live bet on the money line, though, for me if Detroit goes up first. I kind of want a little bit more insurance here. I know Detroit at home is a really solid bet, but I do think Tampa keeps it within that number. So I will be rolling with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus the 6.5. You got both of these teams really jockeying for a playoff position. The Lions have so much depth and home field advantage. They do deserve to be this big of a favorite, but I still think this is kind of like a 30-27 style game in this one. So that in that case, Tampa covers, right? So I can't look at it any other way than Tampa covering. You're taking the points with the Bucs and Baker for his passing yards. That's a nice way to look. So let me remove this. Let's just look at Baker Mayfield for his passing yards. I do think this is a game where the 53.5 is like right there. And I think this one can come down to if it goes to overtime, we are going to see this one go over that 53.5. So I'm going to kind of stay off the total. You got Jared Goff rolling in with a passing prop of 261.5, Baker 250.5. I think they're both able to get those kind of numbers instead of taking them because they're so high, like 261.5 for Goff, 250.5 for Baker. I'd rather look at their longest pass completion. I think both of these quarterbacks have the ability to throw that freaking long bomb down the field. Jared Goff over 35.5 is minus 110, and you got Baker over 35.5. I'll take a shot on both of them for their longest pass to the over. You got the passing touchdowns, and man, that is a gross number. Over 1.5 for Jared Goff. You almost have to lay $2. It's minus 196. Baker over 1.5 is minus 148. I want to do either because I don't love the juice that you're having to pay. When you're looking at the favorites to get in the end zone, it is Jamari Gibbs for the Detroit Lions and Rashard White for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We did have that comment on Rashard White with his 26th touchdown in the 26th state. Let me just find who was able to put that up there. It's an interesting way to look. PMC rolling with that. Rashard White for his 26th touchdown. You got to love finding odd things like that. You always roll with the birthday boy for their anytime tutty as well, and Mike Evans for that longest reception. I do think Mike Evans can get that longest reception out there on the board. So if you're looking at Mike Evans for his receiving yards, 63.5. Mike Evans for that longest reception is coming in at 23.5. So that is what 13, 12-ish kind of yards shorter than what we're looking at for Baker for that longest pass completion. I do like Mike Evans over the 23.5. And while we're looking at those longest receptions, I would look at Sam Laporta as well there. For the Detroit Lions, the tight ends have been having success, and Sam Laporta, his number's only 18.5 for his longest receptions. I'd also look at Sam Laporta to be able to get those total receiving yards tonight. 48.5 is his number, and Tisala as well for the Lions as well. His number is only 9.5 for that receiving prop. So I do think you look at the tight ends. The tight ends have been having success, but it is National Tight End Day next Sunday, you guys. So something to keep in mind. Yeah, the linebackers are rough out there, or tough out there, but I do think we're gonna see the ability for some of these passes to be completed. So parlay the over or passing touchdowns. Yeah, you could parlay. Are you able to parlay both of them together? Richie P, let me know if the books are allowing you to do that. And then we're going to look at the next game, the Houston Texans versus the Seattle Seahawks. Firstly, let's look at this comment. You're looking at Tampa to get off to a slow start like Detroit first half. I like Detroit first half. Absolutely. We know Baker has that ability to have those comeback wins. He's never out of a game, kind of like Denver was yesterday. So I do think, and that's why I looked at it where Tampa plus 255 right now or 225 on the money line right now. If Detroit goes up and we're getting them closer to plus 500, that's where I want to put that little bit of a sprinkle if I'm going to sprinkle, because like we said, Baker is never out of it. The Houston Texans versus the Seattle Seahawks is the second game of the doubleheader. And I'm going to be looking for Sam Darnold to come out nice and strong. I do think this total's too low, but I think the total isn't low enough for the Houston Texans. I think the Houston Texans hit 19 points on the dot. And then we see the Seattle Seahawks hit 25, 26 points. That will push us over the total of 41.5, you guys. So be very careful with that total of 41.5. It's only the Texans team total of 19.5 that I will take to the under. I will take Houston under the 19.5, expecting the defense to come out just on fire here for the Seattle Seahawks. Again, I think it's so tight to the number that the Texans hit 18, 19 points. This is not going to be an easy one to stay under that total. We're going to be sweating it. CJ Stroud has that ability. He has connections out there on the field, but I will look for Seattle to be able to get things done. Seattle laying the 3 points is minus 118. I do think Seattle wins and covers. I am going to play around with an alt line. I think if Seattle wins and covers, they are winning this by 6.5, like by the touchdown. So I will alt them laying the 6.5 in this game. And I'm just going to look at those alt totals for you, or the alt spread here for you guys, because I haven't had a chance to get to the window. I do think they win it by a tutty. So the alt spread, and I tell you, there's so many different things you can bet on the books. It always takes me a couple of minutes to find where everything is. So that alt spread laying 6.5 here for the Seattle Seahawks is coming in at plus 144. And I do think it's worth a shot. Now, I'm also going to look at Sam Darnold here. Sam Darnold is so underrated, in my opinion. I think people really lack the faith in him. Sam Darnold has the weapons to move this ball. They're strong in the red zone. They're also strong defensively in the red zone, which ties into that under 19.5 for the Texans. But in the red zone, Sam Darnold has the ability to convert over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Gotta love the plus money. It's coming in at plus 135. So again, you guys, I'm liking the Houston Texans under 19.5 for their team total. Sam Darnold over 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus 134. And then I will like 6.5 for the Seattle Seahawks here at home, coming in at plus 144. I don't want to lay 3.5 and have to pay that juice a minus 118. So that's just where I'm going to go. Kirk number 30 on a 10 and 20, 10 plus 20, 30. Baylor is Canadian. So nice way to look. I like where you're going with those. You're finding the different angles to look at based on those. And again, you guys, that was an MLB. Sean Higgs and I rolled with Nate. Baylor over for his home run and Kurt for his home run. So that's where we were going. You guys, it's going to be a great day. We have ran over time. We're over an hour. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Do me a solid, you guys, if you are watching over on Picks and Parlays, Winners or Whiners on X, make sure you hit that like, hit that retweet button. It just takes you a second. If you're watching here on Picks and Parlays on YouTube, Winners and Whiners on YouTube, Sean Higgs's YouTube, hit that like button for us. We appreciate it. I want to see the show 5 days a week. If you want all Joe Madden 5 days a week, you got to do me the solid and just hit those like buttons, hit the subscribe over on YouTube. Help me get the numbers up for this show so that I can say, come on, let us have a 5-day-a-weeker. Right now, we're just running Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. If there's something else you want for this show, you guys, as well, we're open to suggestions. So just let me know. We try to do the Madden fade or follow. Those were my picks. Let me know if you're fading or following, who you're liking for those tutties tonight and where you're going to go. But you guys, all the best in all of your bets. Again, appreciate each and every single one of you for joining me here on All Joe Madden on Picks and Parlays. Let's make some freaking money, you guys. Stay hot. I will see you here Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern.